What we are going to discuss under this Power BI training. So these are the topics we are going to cover over here. So I will give introduction about this Power BI desktop and what are the sources. Normally we are using Excel, CSV, SQL Server, SAS, SSEAS and web. Okay, and what are the different data types and how we are going to modeling inside and when we are doing the modeling. Okay, so what are the cross filtering direction in modeling? Okay, so how we are going to do the filters and what are the synonyms and what are the parameters and what is it templates in the Power BI and what is a direct query live connection and what is the difference between direct query live connection and import the data and so what are the bins and lists? Okay, so bins normally we don't have in the previous versions and they have introduced these bins kind of thing, so you can find the bins in the tableau as well. Okay, and what are the themes and what are the custom visuals you can use frequently and the scatter chart, and so how you are going to play the videos the same way you can play your charts data in your Power BI and word cloud. Like for example, sometimes how many number of say a word is repeating, and you can display the more number of times a word is repeating, you can display that word in the big format, and the slicers, different kind of slicers, and archi maps. Archi maps, it's not a normal maps, so the Power BI is providing some normal maps. So the archi maps is a third party maps and these are providing more interactiveness in the maps and more visualization powers. Okay, and how we are going to use these archi maps inside the Power BI desktop and Power BI service as well, how we can enable, and the Power BI publisher for Excel, how we are going to publish any reports or anything from your Excel to Power BI service. Okay, for example, I have some reports in Power BI in Excel I have created. So the same thing you are going to pin that into Power BI service dashboards. So how we are going to do that one, and introduction to the Power BI service, what is a workspace and how to create the workspaces and content packs inside, and how we are going to create the dashboards, how to create the apps. So this is also one beautiful option coming in the Power BI services, how to create the apps normally. So you are downloading some apps from the Google Store, right? So the same way, whatever the apps you have created, you can deploy into, you can publish into Microsoft App Store. So then you can use, or someone for whom you are giving access, they can download the apps and they can use that apps. So, and what are the gateways and how to schedule the gateways, what is a personal gateway and what is the data gateway. Earlier we are calling that is a enterprise gateway, right? So now it is calling it's a just a data gateway. And what is the row level security for your data, how you are going to give the row level security, and how you are going to provide the dynamic security for the rows. For example, whatever the data you are going to, whatever the report you are going to fetch, a particular user I wants to show only to him a particular category information, only particular set of rows data only I want to show. So that kind of security how we are going to implement. And then after Power BI reporting services, so how to install that one and how we are going to use these Power BI reporting services, and Power BI DAX expressions, and what are the quick measures, and also whatever the visualizations are not supporting in your Power BI. So you can do by using some R language code, and you can do more advanced analytics predictions, and you can write down the R code inside the Power BI and you can design the more visualizations in the R. Okay, so this is the course content. We are going to cover all these things. So everything we are going to cover here, not only the only specific topics, we are going to cover almost every feature inside very quickly. Okay, so right, so once you are installing this Power BI, so how you can install this Power BI? The Power BI you can install from the uh, powerbi.com, right? So you can directly go to the
Okay,
powerbi.com.
I have
Yes.
downloaded the Power BI.
Yeah.
I have Power BI desktop.
Okay, that's fine. So the latest version you can download from the powerbi.com, and so I have installed already this powerbi.com, and then so once you are installing this powerbi.com, so once you are opening that one, it will come like this way. Okay, so this is the introduction page, you know very well, right? So if you want to see what are the recent updates coming in this Power BI desktop version, you can see over here what's new. So the Microsoft is going to provide every week they are giving some more updates, so you have to follow the product every week. What are the updates we are getting? And there are a lot of forums if you want to learn anything, and blogs we have, so tutorials also is there, so if you want to learn anything. Okay, so if you want to start the Power BI, you want to do any, you can directly go over here and get it, okay, or whatever the recent data sources you have, you can do this. And so we don't want to use this one, you just go over here and you can close this window. So how can you open again this window? If you want to open whatever the window you have opened, so normally the people are going to close this entire Power BI and again they are going to open. So you don't need to open like that, so you just go to over here and get started. Okay, so you just click on the get started, it will open this window again if you want to use anything.
Okay.
So now the thing is, what is the very first what we have to do for any kind of reporting you want to design? Okay, so one thing,
We have.
yeah, so we have to get the data, right? So that is the first thing you have to choose when you are going to design any kind of reporting or any visualization. So you have to focus first thing on your what is your data source system, what is your data source. So normally in our Microsoft Power BI, the mostly the data sources we are using is either it is a
SQL
Excel, yeah, Excel or CSV or text files, or you can use SQL Server, or the most preferable is SSAS. Okay. So by using SSAS Cube also, 99 percentage we are designing this Power BI dashboards and reports. So one is Excel, CSV file, or text file, or SQL Server, or SSAS cube. Okay, so any kind of data source if you are going to use, for example, so if you are going to use SSAS, you no need to worry about the modeling. So this is your source system. After you are getting the data from this source system, once you are importing or whatever, how you are going to do the next step we will discuss. Once you are finding your data source, for example in an Excel I have four sheets, each sheet having each table information. So if you want to make the relationships and modeling over here, yes, you can define the relationships in your model, Power BI model. If you are using SSEAS, then you don't need to do any modeling over here. The SSEAS is already defined a schema, proper cube database, whatever the star schema, snowflake schema, and everything we have to do in the cube level. We can't create any over here. So yes, we can create something when you can create this SSAS taking measures and all those things. I will discuss later. So if you want to do any modeling over here, normally when you are taking apart from the SSAS, we are doing the modeling inside the Power BI. If you are taking SSAS as a source, so 99 percentage of the modeling and all those things you have to finish in your data source level only. We don't prefer to do the modeling in your Power BI level. Okay, so for example,
Uh,
yeah,
Sir, I'm sorry. Yeah, what is modeling like? How do we do in Power BI?
right,
I,
right. So wow, the modeling means we have some tables. Okay, for example, I have a dim customer and a dim product, and we have some other tables as well, and I have fact, inter, net sales. Okay, so whatever the tables I have, how you are going to make the relationships between these tables? Okay, how you are going to make the relationships between the tables? If you don't have the relationship between the tables, then inside the Power BI, when you are going to preview the data, so it don't filter the data. For example, so you just come over here. First you have to connect to your data source. Okay, so you just click on the get data, and for what you are going to connect, I'm going to connect to my SQL server. Okay, just click on the SQL server. So the database I'm going to use to connect is AdventureWorks database I'm going to use. So this AdventureWorks database, I have different tables. Okay, so we just go over here. So what is your server name? Your SQL server name you have to provide. I'm just giving that it's my local. Okay, right. If you observe here, there are two options. The database name is optional. If you are providing the database, yes, it will connect to directly the database. Otherwise, whatever the list of databases you have under this, it will display all the databases. Okay, right. So come over here. There are two options. What is import and what is direct query? Import, direct query. Do you have any idea what is import or what is direct query?
Yes, sir. So if we use the import, use the import option, whatever the data we have loaded into the Power BI, it is going to use that data only. If you use direct query, it will get the data from the SQL Server database.
Right. So in the import, completely whatever the data you have in your data source level, it will dump into your Power BI in memory. Okay. For example, after you are dumping, you are changing something in your source level. So is that data is going to reflect over here? No. When it will go to reflect again, whenever you are going to refresh this one, the updated data it will take. That is import option. So what is the advantage and what is the disadvantage of using import? The advantage of using input is the visualizations, the data, the performance will get better because the data already in the Power BI in memory. So immediately the visualizations will get the data from in memory. You no need to wait for response from your data source. No need to get the data from your data source every time. But
Yeah, here in memory means, is it going to save on the cloud? Or...
it's not cloud. If you are using the Power BI desktop, okay,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to use the Power BI desktop. So it is nothing but your RAM, your hard disk space it will use. When you are going to the service, Power BI service, it will use the cloud space.
Okay. Okay.
Right now we are going to connect to the Power BI desktop, right? So
Yes. Yes.
that means you are in your on
So
premises. So it will occupy your RAM space and your hard disk space. Okay. When you are moving,
okay.
for example, if you are going to design the same report from Power BI service and you are using import option, what will happen? It will completely use whatever the space they have allocated inside the cloud. It will use that space. You can check. They are specifying 10 MB, sorry, 10 GB space for you, the free trial version, right? So if you are importing something, how much space it is occupying, it will show you. In the cloud, it is using the cloud space, and in the on-premises, your computer space it will use. Okay, completely it will dump the data into your Power BI in memory, right? What is the disadvantage of using import?
yeah, we have to refresh the
Yeah,
data
you have
for
to
the
refresh every time, and you
within.
cannot get updated data, right? So you have to make the schedules. And also one more thing is, if you have huge volume of the data, it may occupy more space. Okay, right. So come to direct query. What do you mean by direct query?
So I haven't used it, but I just know the basic definition. Like if we use it, the Power BI is going to get the data from the direct server, SQL server.
Right,
Or
right. That's correct. Okay. I don't want to take the SQL Server database connection. Okay, source. I'm going to take analysis services. See here, import option is there. Okay, fine. Where is the direct query? Instead of direct query, there is a connect live is coming, right? So then what is the difference between, so
yes,
import is same everywhere when you are using SQL Server. Import and import is same, and when you are using SSAS analysis services, import is same, but there is no direct query. There is a live connection. So this is same. The only difference, what is the difference? Why it is coming instead of direct query live connection? Import. Okay, we are dumping the data from your data source system to your Power BI. That's fine. Then what is the difference between live connection and direct query? Right. So the difference is if SSEAS, if SQL Server is your data source, and I have some tables in my SQL Server, I have connected this direct query method from my Power BI, and I have taken all these tables, not the data, only the metadata. If you are importing, if you are selecting the import option, what it will do, it will import the metadata as well as whatever the data you have in the tables. What do you mean by metadata? Metadata is nothing but, so what, the structure of the table and what are the data types, what are the column names, everything it will import. If you are using the import option, it will import the metadata structure of the tables as well as whatever the data you have inside the source. That is import option. That's fine. Okay. And what about this direct query? Okay. So when you are using direct query, it will just import whatever the tables you have and their metadata, not the actual data. Right. So once you are importing that metadata, you can define some relationships. For example, I don't have any relationship between a particular table. For example, here dim customer, dim product, and some fact table are there. So in my source level, I don't have any relationships. So you can define that relationships over here. And if you want to do any calculated columns, if you want to define any measures over here, yes, you can create measures in the tables. This is nothing but a modeling. How you are going to make the relationship, how you are going to create the calculation columns. That is a modeling, right? So when this is your data source, that is your modeling, and this is your Power BI report. So you are using some chart report or whatever. So when you are going to preview this chart report, what will happen? So this will contact the model. The model will contact the data source. Then based on that, this model will generate a query. When you are going to preview something, as per your model, whatever you have here, whatever the data required for this Power BI visual, it will generate a query on this data model. So the model will send a query to your data source. That is nothing but direct query. What the data it is required, it will send that query to your data source. The query will execute in your data source level, and it will come back to your data model, and the same data will go and display over here. As per your
uh,
model, it will create a query over here. You got the point?
sir, I'm sorry. One more time, please, for this
Definitely,
model.
definitely,
Yeah, sorry.
definitely. Right, no problem. See, When I'm taking the 4 tables from data source, I don't have any relationships between the 4 tables. What I'm doing here, I will make the relationships over here. Relationships means, okay, so
Yeah, like joining joints.
what are the common columns, what are the joining mapping columns are there? So we are going to join those columns. And also, I'm going to create some calculated columns in over there. Some measures I'm going to define over here. In a particular fact table, a measure table, I'm going to create one measure, what is the discount amount, based on the
Yeah.
existing two columns. Based on the existing two columns, I'm going to create a new column over here. But that column is not inside your data source, right? Then how that column will get the data? So when your dashboard or report or whatever you are going to preview, it will contact the model. Okay, so based on that model, will generate a query. For example, here I'm going to display each year wise or each customer wise what is the discount amount. How you are getting the discount amount? The discount amount I have created on calculated column based on the existing two columns. So the Power BI model will generate a query. Okay, what is the query? Select customer name, comma, okay, what is the new measure you have created? The measure whatever you have created by using two columns. Okay, so the two columns are existing in this. Okay, it will create one query over here, select something whatever, and it will send that query to here, and that query will execute and it will give result to back to your visual. But whatever the query, whatever the measures you are writing here is a DAX query. But the data model, the Power BI, what it will do, it will convert that DAX query into SQL server, and the SQL server will understand the SQL query and it will give result back to your Power BI. Because the Power BI inside we are writing everything in the DAX only, right? But the SQL Server don't understand the DAX, right?
Yes, that's right.
The inside the Power BI will convert DAX query into SQL when it is going to send back to your SQL Server. Then the query will execute and it will send back the result to your Power BI. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And going forward, you will understand, no problem. Okay, so that is the direct query. But when you are coming to the live connection, you can't create any model.
Okay.
Whatever the model you want to do, that you have to do in your data source level only, in cube level only you have to do. You can't create any measures over here. Everything, the measure or whatever you want to do, you can do the same thing in SSES. Simply I can say whatever the model you are designing inside the Power BI, it's not a new thing, it's already inside the SSES.
Okay.
When the Power BI was introduced 3 years back, when the SSES was introduced, it's long back. So the same functionality they are implementing inside the Power BI. The same functionality they have implemented inside the Power Pivot. Okay, so what they are telling, so when you want a modeling, why you are going to do the modeling inside the Power BI? If you want to use the SSES as a source, do the same modeling inside the SSES cube only, and you connect live. It's a live connection. There is no manipulations. There is nothing in between this data source to Power BI. It's a direct live. It will take whatever is there inside the Power BI, whatever is there in the SSES, it will fetch that. That is live. In direct query means there is a middle layer is there between the Power BI report and your data source. There is one layer is there. That is data model layer. So the model, what it will do, it will generate the DAX queries and it will send to SQL. It will convert that SQL and it will get the data and it will serve that data into your report. But in live connection, there is no middle layer. Directly it will connect to your data source, whatever that is SSES. This live connection you will get only for SSES. For other any data sources you don't get. The live connection is only for SSAS, you can observe. For any other data sources, you will get only import and direct query, because the direct query means you can design a model in the Power BI level. So the Power BI, what it will do, it will generate the DAX query and it will send back the DAX query as a SQL query and it will get the result. I think now you got the point. So when we are going to,
Yes, sir.
okay.
Here, yes.
So here I am going to take my data source as a SQL. So you just go back over here, SQL. This is my server name, and if you want to provide any database name specifically, yes, you can provide like this. Just copy the database name. Sorry, it's delay. Okay, right. So instead of taking a specific one, I'm going to select all. So I just want to take it's a import option. Okay, or you can do one thing over here, advanced options. In advanced option, you can write down the select statement also. For example, if you want to select a specific columns from a specific table, if you have any SQL query, as you can write down the SQL query. But in that case, require a database. You have to specify the database from which database you want to select the data. Okay. So if you don't want, then you can directly import. So you just click OK. See here, include relationship columns. So we are going to include the whatever the relationships are there inside from the database. It will include that columns also. Click OK. It will connect to your data source, whatever the SQL server you have. Right. So it is connected to all the list of databases whatever I have in my server. Okay. If you want a specific database only, so you can select only that database only. So AdventureWorks DW 2012 I'm going to connect over here. So here, what are the tables you want to select? Yes, you can select. Here you can't select the list of columns. For example, I want category, dim category, and dim product subcategory and dim product. Okay, these are the three dimension tables and one fact table, that is fact internet sales. Okay, so these are the four tables we are going to extract, and I'm going to,
Uh,
yeah.
will this adventure work database available in internet?
Yes, you can download directly this AdventureWorks DW 2012 from your data from your internet, and you can attach the database.
Oh,
Okay, directly connected. So these are the list of the fields we are extracting from all the tables. Okay, so if you want to edit this one, yes, you can edit before you are going to load the data, or if you want to load the directly data and later you want to edit, yes. So we'll see what is exactly the edit. A new window is opened for query editor. Right, see, these are the four tables we are going to import. Okay, so if you want to do any manipulations over here, yes, you can do the manipulations. Okay, right. So I don't want to do any manipulations as of now, so I'm just closing this one. Yes, I want to apply the changes. So now it is importing the data from your data source to this Power BI for these four tables: dim product category, subcategory, dim product, fact internet sales. Okay, so this is the Very first step, we are connecting to our data source and we are importing whatever the data we are expecting, and it will completely import the metadata of the tables as well, whatever the data inside your tables also. So here it is almost 60,000 records are there. Okay, right. So once you are getting all these fields will come over here, and this is the visualization field. What are the visualizations you want to use to design? You can use these visualizations, and whenever you are using the visualizations and these fields to design the reports over here, so those fields will come and you can set the properties over here. Okay, right. So what is this page name? So you have to set a proper page name, whatever the report name you are going to design over here. So you just give the proper page names. So what is the page name you want to give you over here? So it's my first report. Okay, so in this way you can add many number of pages. Each page you can define different visualizations. So the combination of all these pages we are calling it is a report. What is a visualization? Visualization is nothing but this one. For example, if you are taking this column chart, stacked column chart, this is a visualization. This is one visualization. Page is nothing but whatever the reports, whatever the combination of visualizations you are using over here, that is one page. A report means the combination of pages. See, you can take this one more page you can. This is my second report. So this first page and second page, both pages if you are combining, if you are saving, this is, that is one report. Okay, visualization, page, report. A single report can have multiple pages and a single page can have multiple visualizations. Okay, whatever the fields you are getting from your data source, those you can see in entire report. I mean, in each page you can see here. Okay, if you want to see what is the data you have imported from these tables, so how you can see the data? So you just go over here. There are three tabs over here. One is visualization tab, where you are going to design the reports. This is empty space. The second one is the data. Whatever the data you are getting from these four tables, four data sets, you can call it a data set as well. So you can, if you want to see the data, yes, you just go to the second tab. Okay, this is the second tab. Here you can see the data. For example, if you want to see this dim product data, you just select on the dim product data. And if you want to see the dim product category, so it will show the dim product category data. If you want to see the dim product subcategory, it will display what data you want to see over here. Yes, you can see. So the third one is the modeling part. Come to relationships. So here you can define the relationships between these four tables. So because of the huge volume of the data, it might take some time.
Yeah.
Here, what are the list of the tables we have imported? One is the product category, another one is the product subcategory and dim product and fact table. So the relationships between these four tables already created. How? Because the relationships already I have created in my data source level here. So that is the reason the same relationships we are imported into here. Even if you don't have any relationship in your data source level, if it is identifying the same column names, for example, the relationship between this dim product category table and dim product subcategory is, what is the relationship between those two? On which column it is creating the relationship? The relationship it is created on the, if you are clicking on this link, it will display on what column basis it is created the relationship. See, when you are clicking over there, it is highlighting two columns. What are
Yes,
the
product cat.
product category and product category? If the column names are same, automatically it will create the relationship. In the dim product category, you have the column name product category key. Here we have product category key. Automatically it will link up both if the data types are same. And also you can see over here also dim product subcategory table and dim product category table. You are making the relationship on product category key here and here product category. So you can observe the color on what columns it is making the relation. Okay, so if you don't want to make this relationship active, just select this option. What will happen? You don't create any relationship with this. You can't see what are the subcategory items for a particular category. Whenever you are going to browse the data and there is no relationship between, for each category, how many subcategory items are there, you can't see because there is no relationship. If you want to test it, okay. So now the link is inactive. So what will happen means, for example, I want to use this slicer. Slicer is nothing but if you want to filter your data, the parameter kind of selection. Go to the product category. The column I want to take English product category. It will display whatever the product category names are there, the list of product category names. Okay. Then I'm going to take one table. So that table will display all the list of subcategory items from the subcategory table. Okay, right. So these are the list of categories and these are the list of subcategories. I want to make it more bigger. So if you want to make it more bigger, so every option you have to change over here. Just go to the second one. Here you can change the values, create this matrix font size, you have to increase, where you can increase the size. This is grid format and font. This is the font. Text size is, here it is 8, so you can increase the text size like this. Okay, right. And for this one also you can increase the text size. So where you can change the text size over here, you can change the text size over here. Okay, right. So total how many categories you have? Accessories, bikes, clothing, components. It is getting blank as well. These are the all list of subcategories. For example, if I am selecting accessories or bikes, it has to display only bikes subcategories, but it is displaying all subcategories. The reason, there is no relationship in between these two active. The relationship between this category and subcategory is inactive. Now I am going to make it active. Go back to your relationships. Here I am going to make this is active. Come back. If I am selecting these bikes, what will happen? Only bike subcategories. If I am selecting components, it is displaying only components. Clothing, it is displaying clothing. Accessories. Okay. So that is the advantage of the relationship in between the tables. Okay, right. So here if you observe the cardinality, what do you mean by cardinality? So what is the relationship between these two tables? The level of the cardinality is many to one to one, one to many. There are three kind of relationships. Go back to the Excel.
So do we have to select this, or the Power BI will itself select
Automatically
that
it will
card?
detect. Automatically it will detect. Okay. So one to one. The Power BI automatically detect that kind of relationship, cardinality. So many to one and one to many. So what is one to one? So I have two tables. In both tables, we have the record is single time. For example, I have employee table. I have department table. So in the employee table also I have department number, and in the department table also I have department number. So these, for example, here I have 10, 20, 30, and here also I have 10, 20, and 30. What is the cardinality in between these two tables? 1 to 1 only, because 10 is repeating only one time, 20 is repeating only one time, 30 is repeating only one time. That is 1 to 1 relation. And if you are repeating 10, 30 again, so what is the cardinality in between these two tables? From this table to this table, 1 to many, because here a record is only one time, but that 10 is here many times is there. That is 1 to many. If you are reversing that one, that is many to one. Okay, it's a kind of left join and right join. Okay, right. So the main thing is, if you are understanding one to one, what is the one to many and many to one. So that is, if you are repeating more than one time, that is one to many. Right, come back over here. So here it is many to one. Many to one means dim subcategory. In subcategory items, we have category key many number of times it is repeating. If you observe over here, see, 1 1 1 1 1 1 1, it is repeating number of times. If you observe here, 1, how many times it is repeating over here? Only 1.
Only once.
Here there are many. Here it is only 1. So that is the reason many to one relationship it has created. Without open this one, you can identify which one is one, which one is many. See, there is one. This symbol indicates many. Got it? Because
Oh,
in the product subcategory table there are many category keys. In the category table, the category key is only one. Is it clear?
yes, sir. Clear.
Right. So one more important thing here over is cross filter direction. What do you mean by cross filter direction? So when you are going to filter the data, see here what's happening? Accessories, when you are selecting bikes, it is filtering the data in subcategory. Am I right? That means when you are going to select any value in the product category, it will filter whatever the data you have in the product subcategory. That is because what is the reason? The cross filter direction is single only. Single means only in this direction only it will filter the data. If you are selecting any subcategory product, it has to filter this data as well. Okay, what I'm going to do here, I will take one more slicer, and in this slicer I will take dim product subcategory. Sorry, not product category, product subcategory, right? English product subcategory, and I'm going to clear the filter, right? So it is displaying all subcategory items, and I'm going to increase the size. Right. Now if I'm clicking on these mountain bikes, is it a slicer? Right. This is slicer. If I am clicking on this any of bottom brackets, it is not filtering the subcategory.
Yeah.
But if I am filtering, if I am selecting accessories, it is filtering this data. The reason is we are making the filtering in single direction only. Now I am going to make the filter on dual direction, both directions. Click OK. Now come back. Okay. So
Okay.
now if I am selecting lights, it will select accessories. Okay, I will clear all. I will come to default. Here also I will clear. This is the very first time. All categories, all subcategories. Earlier, when you are selecting category, it will filter the subcategory. Now I am going to select the subcategory. See, it is filtering the category as well. Got it? What is a bidirectional? Cross filter in both directions. So if you want the filter in the both directions, you can select the cross filter direction as both. Okay, this is very important. So in this way, if you want to make the relationship between the tables, for example, I don't have relationship between dim product subcategory and dim product. How can you make the relationship? I don't have anything in between these two. How can you make the relationship? So you just drag and drop this product not product category, and product subcategory, and move on this. It will create the relationship. Open this one, product subcategory. It has created on the product category, product key. No, it's not correct. Just go over here. You have to find out where is the product subcategory. This one. So you have to make the relationship on product subcategory and product subcategory. Then click OK. Got it? So this is the way you have to make the relationships over here. And when it is, whether it is a bidirectional or single direction filtering, so you have to select over here. Okay, right. So you just come to modeling part. So in this modeling, the manage rules we will discuss at the time of discussing the row level security. What is the synonyms? What is this synonyms? For example, for this fact internet sales, whatever the columns you have inside this fact internet sales table, all the list of columns are coming here. Synonyms means you can give different names for this one. For example, the table name fact internet sales. And here if you observe, there are sales amount is there. I am going to give one synonym for sales AMT. What is the advantage if you are giving sales AMT? The advantage of these synonyms is, you know, the natural query processing in Power BI service.
No, sir.
When you are typing a question, what is the sales amount, and it will automatically display some reports in the Power BI service.
No, sir. I haven't seen. I only did the. I only did either using the connections like SQL Server or Excel connections only. I haven't used the natural query yet.
No. So natural query means when you are logging into Power BI service, Power BI service cloud, okay, there if you are
Okay.
typing any question, for example, if you want to see what is the sales amount, you just type in English what is the sales amount. It will display some reports automatically. That is natural query processing.
Okay. Will it? The natural query processing is only supported in the Power BI service only.
Yes, only inside the service only it will support. The dashboards and Power Natural Query Processing will support inside the Power BI service only. Okay. So I think it's better we will discuss that in the tomorrow session.